Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. Stop laughing at me. You're here with Mo and Mel. As you can tell, my throat and I'm a little raspy today. I've caught somewhat of a little cold the last couple days. Don't worry though, I got a COVID test. I am negative, so it's literally just me and this cold. I haven't had a cold in probably I'd say at least 3 years because I went to get medicine at my medicine cabinet and they were all expired from like 2020. So it's been a while. I don't know if it was the two Vegas Golden Knight hockey games Thursday and Saturday that kind of took me to my bed on that point.
Possibly.
Who knows at this point? So I can say is thankful that everybody, when you're getting sick, still please go get tested. I know it's hard right now to find testing places and to get tested, but still do it just for your own sanity, to just feel better about the situation. I feel way better knowing that, at least.
And if you're out with your cold, wear your mask still. Still wear your mask.
Definitely.
Because I don't want a cold. Definitely. I definitely don't want that.
And I'm still wearing my mask anyway, period. Like, that's it. It's terrible. Anyways, welcome back to the show. We're excited. We've got a couple of great guests coming on in just a second. I did want to mention too, because you mentioned like, you need to have a throat lozenge or cough syrup. I went to the store on Monday when I started getting that little tickle and started feeling something in my throat. Mm-hmm. There's like no medicine on the shelves. If you go to like the pharmacy, CVS, Walgreens, the grocery store, they're empty. It's like, it looks like when toilet paper and water were going out of style, like during the pandemic. It's insane. Like, everybody's gone. So if you have any issues right now, go find some, stock up, because the shelves are empty. And
Trader Joe's might have something like a herbal,
maybe
different variation, maybe. But no, CVS I will say, Walgreens, everything's out, even at the CVS and Walgreens.
I mean, there was like a couple things here, but nothing that you could choose from. Like, I literally am taking children's Tritomedic and whatever, because and all the adult Robitussin's gone. And but I will say, shout out to my girlfriend who hit me to the medicine ball at Starbucks.
Oh yeah, those are great
for this. I had no idea how great these things were.
Yeah, they are. They work wonders.
I will be living off these for the next couple days.
Yeah. Jeez.
I know.
Man.
For all those that are tuning in, please subscribe to our YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, give it a share. Let people join in. We've got a couple of great guests. If you're welcome to, we're not going to get to all the comments, but if you have any questions specifically to our guests, please put it in the chat and we'll make sure that we ask the guests that so we can get answers for you as well. But without further ado, let's welcome in our guests. I appreciate you guys for joining us. Isaac and Aly Nauta. Am I saying it right? Nauta?
Yeah, Nauta.
Nauta.
Very cool.
We got that a lot. It was like the naughty Nauta, or like 10 million plays on it. But yeah.
Wonderful. Hi, thank you. We already got some Go Dogs in here, so we appreciate those for chiming in. First of all, you guys co-founded an agency, the Athlo Agncy. So I wanted you to kind of discuss a little bit about NILs, period, since the company is based around NIL. Kind of tell our listeners, because some of us are still trying to understand NIL and to see how they really changed from just a year ago till today, and what your company is about.
Yeah. So I'll just jump in. NIL sports is not my background. Isaac is the cooler younger brother. I'm just the chick that owns a creative agency and ultimately had a course already that aligned businesses to businesses and business to consumer, right, in their purpose, and ultimately saw this incredible opportunity with NIL, and athletes, college athletes specifically, capitalizing on their name, image, and likeness. So for those of you that don't know, that is what NIL is. And I don't want to pretend like I'm the expert over here again in college sports, because that's Isaac all the way. But ultimately we'll jump in a little more on our belief in who we are. But I would love Isaac to actually just give like a prelude to just the shifts and the changes with NIL, because he can just so much better speak to that than I can. So,
and for those that don't know what NIL stands for, it stands for the national image, likeness, all of that kind of thing for the athletes. It's branding on that. So just wanted to throw that out there in case people were like, what's NIL? What are they talking about? NFTs, NIL, what is all this stuff?
Like NFTs, like the whole
like what is it? Name, image, and likeness, you guys. Name, image, and likeness. So that's what they're speaking of when they're talking NILs, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So NIL is pretty new, started last year. And like we said, it's where college athletes can now, profit off of their name, image, and likeness, which is huge, because when I was coming through recruiting, we didn't have that. We didn't have the opportunity to, make money like these kids do now. But with that, there's also a whole new set of dangers. The second these kids step onto campus, they're a business officially. They have the ability to make money. And there's companies and brands that want to work with these kids now because, we kind of believe that athletes are the OG influencer. They have
Absolutely.
athletes have, a ton of power when it comes to marketing and people wanting to work with athletes, not only because of the fact that their skill sets, are special from the standpoint that not everybody can do it, but also what athletes bring to the table. Just being able to work with team, with a team mindset, being able to thrive under pressure, just all the things that athletes bring to the table. Kind of where we got excited about this opportunity was, like Aly said, originally she has a creative company that she started, and she already had a course that I'll let her get more into that because she's obviously better at explaining that. But where we got excited about this was we see an opportunity with young athletes that they're stepping into a whole new world, a world that's new for everybody really around this NIL space, and it's going to be blanketed coming here soon. The NCAA is going to pretty much standardize it for the whole country, because right now it's different based off of each state. As far as what schools can do and what the athletes can do within these deals. But the thing is going through the recruiting process, being a college player, playing at Georgia, making it all the way to the NFL, getting hurt, being put on IR this year. I've had a lot of opportunity to get healthy, continue to work out, but also, kind of discover some other things, in the business world. And what I want to do really is I want to help, athletes. I want to help get back to athletes and young athletes. And a way to do that is by taking my experience that I've learned up until this point and helping them realize that, hey, there's a big opportunity here for you, a small window of opportunity. And while you're in this college space, let's build your brand to the best of your ability, create a legacy for you that's lasting longer than just your college years, something that is sustainable, and we're just really excited about that. So that's kind of just a little premise into what we got going on.
Yeah, and I was like I was jumping in there as like a big sister moment, and I'm like, and your worth outside of just being an athlete.
Right.
Like, we believe that. Like, that is something that we believe, right? And I think that's really the core of our agency. We are not offering necessarily branding services one-on-one, but rather a product that is ultimately built off of this formula as the creative agency that I've had for 5+ years that we've rolled out through B2C and B2B, and have really compelling case studies around truly tapping into purpose, and then ultimately being able to maximize your unique passions and monetize them, and really see fulfillment and abundance from that place of being aligned in purpose. So really that's where this product was built from. And to Isaac's point, like, we believe that athletes are OG influencers, and we believe this next generation is gonna really support us when we're old and wrinkly, and we need them to be leaders. And really there's this opportunity in NIL that's so much more than just a paycheck, right? Like, it's truly like raising awareness around movements that are long overdue, right? It's aligning yourself with the right brands, with the right people, organizations, communities, to really elevate those with the voice that you have as a college athlete, right? And so we really are just advocates of the college athlete, is really what we are. We are the facilitators of aligning them in purpose, so that they can truly see sustainability both in and out of their sport. So yeah.
I mean, too many times there's I've seen it where an athlete gets to that point in their career where they go, okay, I'm not going to go pro, and I've spent my whole career trying to go pro, and I'm not going to make it, and I don't even know what I'm doing in this major. I don't know what I like outside of this sport. I mean, it happens to professional players all the time as well. So what we kind of want to do is just provide a little bit of direction to where it's like, hey, everything's going to be fine. If you do go pro, you're going to have a strong personal brand. If you don't, we're going to help you teach yourself, or we're going to help teach you how to sell yourself authentically, and help, you know, position your brand based off of what ultimately fulfills you the most. And so it's just a super important piece in this space that's not really there. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, and especially for these athletes, I mean, we've always heard that, we've heard the numbers where X amount of kids that are playing football in high school make it into college or D1 play. X amount of players in D1 will make it onto the NFL and be able to sustain a career in the NFL for more than 3 to 4 years. It's like a minuscule number. And to be able to get this thing started with kids that are just entering college, and to be able to give them the backbone they can have to build a brand outside of football or outside of athletics per se, to use that in their career and make something else out of it, I think is extremely, you know, it's just amazing, because I think we've all seen it, especially I know here in Las Vegas and other professional areas, where these rookies are coming out and they don't really have much of a understanding of money and branding and what's going on with their lives, and they're making wrong choices and bad choices in their career moves, and we're seeing, you know, careers end just like that, and it's unfortunate. And so hopefully these kind of things will be helpful, especially because, you know, it can go both ways. NIL can be a positive thing, but it could also maybe be the thing that turns your career downwards too if you don't take the right path. So
Yeah.
I think excuse me, I think that was one thing that I wanted to talk about, because I noticed a lot in your guys's discussion of of your company is about the purpose. It's not just about the branding.
Yeah.
And so being able to try and help these young athletes in finding the purpose within the branding, why is that so important for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we believe that your brand is a product of your purpose. We believe your social media is a product of your purpose, right? It's when you, so really we believe that your purpose is, you know, ultimately the space that exists between what you know, which is pretty much your upbringing. It's like your breakthroughs, it's your hardships, it's like the trial and error, it's like the things that you believed about yourself that were told to you by coaches, parents, friends, etc., right? The what you do. So the school you choose, or the program you choose, or the career you choose, or, you know, any of that, what you do, right? Even your habits and patterns, and how you want to serve the world. And the space between where all three of those areas intersect, that's purpose. And so when you're not aligned in that, you're constantly going to be scraping for the next best thing. You're constantly going to be scraping for another paycheck. You're constantly going to be searching for what that purpose is in someone else's, and then try to replicate it in this like extreme scrolling culture, right? And so, you know, purpose is where it starts. And as an agency, like, people will come to us, you know, as a creative agency, people will come to us and say, make our social media look pretty, or build us a website. And we say, yeah, and if we don't assess every area of the brand, if we don't actually check the heartbeat of the brand, that beautiful website, that brand new shiny Instagram, it's not going to perform the same way. You're going to come back 6 months or a year later and be like, I'm looking for the next best thing. And the reason is because we didn't root it in purpose, right? So we believe that you have to start there. We believe not very many people are having this conversation in the athlete space in general. You know, Isaac sent a really great tweet earlier, and one of the conversations really from a former athlete really was truly, you know, you're taught to be an athlete, and that's it. You know, you don't practice, what am I going to do outside of that? Like, of course, academia is very important as an athlete. Like, you can't keep your scholarship, or you can't be, you know, on active roster if you're not performing as a college student. However, like, you're not being prepped and groomed to become an executive or CEO. You're being prepped and groomed to become a professional athlete, right? And perform on the field. So if you're not practicing other things outside of that, or if you're only in tune with your purpose as an athlete, when that goes away, and that could be tomorrow after you step on the field and someone hits you the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like it could be you doing a backflip and God forbid something happens. You know, it's like it could be anything at any moment. It's not promised to you. But your purpose, you can bet on your purpose. You know, your purpose is consistent because it's just literally who you are. So yeah, purpose is everything. It's where it starts and ends, is what we believe. So.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah. And also too, just like when I think about, just the opportunity that these kids have, like you don't have to be there. You get to be there. It's a privilege, and it takes sacrifice, it takes hard work, and having a strong brand is part of that. Painting yourself in a good light, within the media, within what you want to put out on your social media. With, perception is everything in this business, because you always have a spotlight on you. You always have a microphone in your face, and any little mistake you make, it's on national television, or it's on, everybody sees it. And so just having, giving some young kids, 17, 18-year-old kids coming into college, some information from somebody who's been there and done that, I think is a great place to start, just as to say, hey, this is real life. You're a business now, and it can be taken away like that. So let's make sure that we make the most of this opportunity. And that's really, that's really our main mission in this whole thing. Is it's a product. We've created a product that truly serves the athlete, with no unbiased opinions. And we want to just help them find out who they are themselves and build their brand around that. So it's really cool stuff.
Now, is this majority for collegiate athletes, or could this also be for like high school seniors or people that are kind of getting into college athletes, or know that they're going to be playing at some point in a Division I school or something like that to get started?
I mean,
or those that ended their career already in football, so professional sports.
Totally. I think the goal is to have the conversation and change the narrative and change the script. And I think by us really influencing the college athlete during this time, where they're able to capitalize on their name, image, likeness, is naturally going to bleed into high school, elementary. And that's the goal, right? Now, if someone from Pop Warner comes to us and says, hey, talk to 7 to 10-year-olds, like, of course we're going to do it, because we believe they're our future. Like, they equally, have, rights to this, conversation, and like, they're being shaped very much during that time, through elementary and high school. So we still believe, like, of course we want to be a part of that conversation. Now, however, the product is very specifically catered to the college athlete specifically during this time. But the conversation isn't going to stop there, and this is like the pilot product, ultimately the course Brand on Purpose, which is just your e-learning masterclass, right, style. And I'm the facilitator workshopping with Isaac, which is going to be really fun because you can't tell on camera, but like I'm like this, so I'll be like, hey, ultimately, like, we're just the facilitators of it for college athletes, and then the conversation will continue, and hopefully trickle over into both retired professional athletes and, again, the younger age demographic.
Yeah, and I only we're mentioning the younger kids just because the parents are already setting up Instagram accounts for the kids, trying to get them branded and promote them early at early age. So why not, branch that, like you said you're doing.
Like a whole other, important aspect is recruiting. Like, parents have kids that are going through the recruiting process, and they have no clue what's going on, and this is something where I see, why not get a jump start on this now? Why not start learning the information now as a high schooler? So when you get to college and all these deals start coming, or, there's opportunities all over the place, you're locked in on who you are, what's important to you, and you have a strong brand. Like, I think that's such a huge leg up, because there's just so many dangers in this world that, good people with good hearts don't realize that are out there until something happens. People, I think, a lot of times go into college thinking that everybody has their best intentions in mind. It's just not that way. You know what I mean? And people look for opportunities to take advantage, and, and it's sad, but it's the truth. There's great people out there that give you lots of support, but there's also people that, can harm you. And just giving them the knowledge to help navigate that, and get an early jump on it in high school, as that young mind is forming. I think, that's a huge opportunity. I think a lot of parents see a lot of value in that as well, especially, a lot of parents work and they grind and, they do as much as they can for their kid, but they don't have all the information. I run into it all the time. I have parents come up to me all the time saying, hey, can you teach me about recruiting? Like, my son's getting offered. We don't know which camps to take him to. We don't know which schools to take him to. This is a whole nother aspect, the branding side of things, that now is very important, because you can make something of yourself. And a lot of these kids also in college, they may never make it pro, but they're celebrities. I know I can show you plenty of players that people will remember them forever, not because they had anything to do with their NFL or NBA or MLB career, purely based off what they did in college, So it's just all about maximizing the opportunity and helping these kids realize that, hey, whether you're a college basketball player and you're a stud, you may have 1 year in college. If you get hurt and redshirted in football, you might spend 6 years there. But while you're there in college, make the most
of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And like Mo and Mel, we do believe that there needs to be some more feminine energy. We are absolutely advocates of feminine athletes, by the way. Like, that is a niche we absolutely are leaning into. And we just think it's female athletes have been so overlooked, and they work really, really hard. So, that's definitely a space that we want to exist in. And we just believe that, like, this combo between Isaac and I, and we've got another co-founder, Jay, who's doing all the money moves, behind the scenes while we're doing this stuff. We just believe that there's just such a balance in that, and that there's not very many examples of that. And that's like part of the reason too we wanted to come on and chat with you guys, because we're just like, man, this is so cool. Like, we need to talk to women that have bulls, full size. Like, I see your massive bulls, right? Like, we need to talk to women that are like that are bringing that to the space. And so, yeah,
and a lot of these women have kids or are single mothers, and they don't know the ins and outs. I mean, some of these athletes we see now, granted, our fathers played in the league or uncles played in the league, so they have some kind of idea how it was back then or what's happening now. But some of these young moms, or whatever their age may be, that are single, maybe don't have the male support that has been a professional athlete, and they're trying to figure this all out themselves. That's what's tough. And that's when you see sometimes how these kids are making bad choices, or maybe not bad choices, but a lesser choice, because they're trying to make that money to go take care of the family, to do this and do that, and not realizing what that all might entail on the back end.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
And then I think it's great for the women's aspect too, because of course, me and Mo, we love the WNBA. We love covering our aces here in Las Vegas. And I think one of the biggest issues for us is that these ladies play here all summer, and then they have to go out to Europe or wherever else out of the country internationally to play for the rest of the year, just to make money to keep themselves going. Now, had they maybe had NILs in college, and they could have been making more of their brand or making more of the terms or the deals, they could have kept them going during the off seasons here if they made it to the WNBA as well. So,
or allow the opportunities for them to even do so, not having just the agents go to the collegiate athletes of the males and not the women, all of that. Yeah. Like, they just need that space, and they never had that.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, actually, because a really great example of this is like a Michael Phelps. Like, Michael Phelps literally dropped out of school because he became an Olympic swimmer. Like, he had that opportunity. And of course, that's what he's going to do, because that's longer than college, right? So like so he drops out. But now, and especially because we know that there are so many incredible female Olympians, there is an opportunity to still get an education and pursue being an Olympian with the NIL changes. I mean, obviously we don't know everything. It's still a little uncharted territory, and compliance is going to kind of, sum that up for us like early this year. However, there is that opportunity now. And like, when I think of that example, because I was a dancer, so I'm like, go sports. But like, I love sports, and I watch them because of Isaac, and we had an uncle that was in the NFL. But like, that is an incredible example. Like, anyone can wrap their mind around that, athlete or not, right? Like, Michael Phelps could have pursued both education, sponsorship, being an Olympic swimmer, all of it in one, had the NIL been, tried and true during his time, so yeah. It's really
And there's even some local ones that me and Mo will get to a story that's come out later. But there were girls here in Las Vegas, young ladies that had talent in basketball, but because they couldn't make any money while they were in college, they chose to leave school and pursue their other entertainment kind of and money goals. And that's, you know, what the option they took because they couldn't do both. How they had this been the case maybe a couple years ago, they could have been succeeding in both and been on their way into a professional career as well.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing. It's real life, right? Like not everybody's the top 1%. You know, even if you are at a Power 5 school, like there's only a certain amount of people that go and do it and make real money, you know, and the rest of us, the rest of the population in that pool is, you know, has to figure out what they're going to do next, you know, and whether it's a big monetary deal or we're just teaching you how to sell yourself in an interview to a company based off your purpose statement and that company's mission statement, and you think you would like to work with them. I mean, if we can help somebody do that, you know, our job's done. So, you know, it's just there's a lot of opportunity to help a lot of people in this space, and you know, from women to men and every varsity sport that there is in college. So it's definitely exciting. This whole NIL world is crazy. There's a lot of young kids making a lot of money, and you know, it's exciting, and it's here to stay. That's the other thing. It's here to stay, and it's only going to continue to get bigger as these deals evolve, and you know, more, you know, incredible content's created, you know, for some of these local businesses and some of these national brands that, you know, see these kids as superstars, and that's what they are. So, you know, we're excited to be a part of it, and we're excited to be, you know, a company that's making a positive impact in this space as well.
I'm excited for you guys
so much.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm so excited for both of you guys on this endeavor because it's necessary, and you have both of you guys are sharing your backgrounds and have the expertise to pull this off without a hitch. I just feel it, because I'm going to start following you guys because I'm even interested, Aly, in branding myself personally for business things. But we'll talk.
We'll talk, girl. We will talk.
I checked out your other Instagram on that, and I was like, okay, let's see what we can do. You know,
we've just, you know, we've done it. Like some of our brands that we've done this for is like a Tony Robbins or a Nordstrom sales team, right? Or Jameson Sotheby's, or any, like an Isogenics, like anyone that, any natural kind of industry that's got like some kind of comp structure, right? Where you have to be a personal brand, like you're forced into being a personal brand and kind of making it on your own a little bit, but with, you know, the help of an internal marketing team, right? Or corporate marketing team. But, you know, I believe that, like I said, every single human being walking on this planet are personal brands. And they have an incredible opportunity to be in their own lane, run their own race with their unique, you know, skill set and passions that they ultimately can transfer into, you know, a monetized, you know, something, product, service, whatever it is, right? And so we've done it, and we've built the agency all referral, because I think it just exudes off of us that is the core, is purpose. And that's the same thing we're bringing into Athlo, is just that. It's the passion around just really rooting yourself in purpose and your personal brand and understanding it like the way you do a playbook, you know?
Yeah. So, and that's so funny because I work for Nordstrom.
Really?
So that's why, yes, that's why I was like, what? That's the whole reason I was saying, okay, I gotta follow this girl. Because
I saw this little light bulb kind of go off. I was like,
when she was saying that, she said Nordstrom, I said that was totally what I was trying to get at with my job.
I love that.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, I think it's also, we're in that time now where it's like, not that everybody doesn't want to work a 9-to-5, but I think everybody, even, you know, beforehand, people were trying to find other ways to make money on the side or to do other things while in their career, and to make other money and make other choices. So it's just nice that now you're kind of helping direct people to kind of understand that, because I know for me, and people probably my age too are probably like, well, I mean, this wasn't us. Like, that's the next generation after us, because they all get it. Yeah. Not, you know, after a certain age, you know, all these young kids, you know, they're TikToking and making thousands and millions of dollars over just videos they're dancing to, and you're just like, I don't get it. I don't.
But it goes back to, and here's what it goes back to though, like, because that's such a great point, Val, is like, if TikTok went away tomorrow, who would you be? If your sport went away tomorrow, who would you be? If Nordstrom got set on fire, who would you be? And that's the thing, is we all are we put so much of our worth in our title or our paycheck. And the moment that disappears, we lose our shit. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can.
No,
it's
totally.
And that's the part, like, how do you actually, that's the whole purpose of this product. Like, so I love that you rounded that out, because that's exactly what it is. It's like, when you are aligned in purpose, it's beyond a 9 to 5. It's your heartbeat. You don't turn off your heartbeat. You know what I mean? At night, it's the thing that keeps you up at night and wakes you up in the morning. And that is more than a paycheck. We believe that when you're aligned in purpose, though, you can surpass any of your best performances, right? Like, we truly believe that. And I've seen it. Like, I've witnessed people transform their entire lives, quit their two 9 to 5 jobs that they're working essentially at one time to pursue their passion, now that they're aligned in purpose, and so it's such a powerful thing. And I think purpose, the word, gets tossed around so much, and it's been a little diluted, but it goes back to, yes, like, who are you? You're a TikToker, but you're more than that. Like, yes, you can achieve 20 million views on a video, but you're more than that. If it goes away, who are you?
Well, and I think a lot of people found that out too during the pandemic, that they lost jobs, they lost places.
The day Instagram was down, people were losing their minds.
For the whole 3 hours or whatever, like, people went crazy. I mean,
sponsored post I had to do. It was queued up. Like, oh my gosh, just I'm gonna pull out sponsorship now because I had a sponsor. So it's like, it's you. Then you just are always, when you're aligned in purpose, you're always thinking about just the next thing that you can do that just adds value to the communities and the people and the place that you just exist outside of the paycheck, And naturally what comes from that is fulfillment. And then naturally what comes from fulfillment is abundance. Scarcity fades away. And before you know it, your bank account's at a place that you never could have manifested it to be at. You know what I mean? Because you didn't even know that was possible. You were only living in the restriction of the paycheck, So
I feel like I need to have Aly in my ear 24/7, like, as the inspirational, like, your meditation, the soundtrack that you go to when you're having like a sit down, like, that would be her. Like, okay, just click on Aly and what can she tell me today? Like,
well, Mel, you can buy the course, and so you can just listen to that.
Which leads me to my next question, would be for, how do people, if they're watching this, if they see it later on, if someone shared it with a friend because of their kid that's going to be in school or playing in college soon, how can they get involved? How can they how can they try to get into or work with you guys with the Athlo Agency?
Yeah, so we've got a website up. You can subscribe. We absolutely we treat our subscriber lists like royalty. So we will stay in communication with you. If there's something specifically that you need, you can drop us a message through our website. You can drop Isaac a personal message through direct message through Instagram. You can drop me one. You can drop Jay one. You can drop Athlo one. You can follow us, Athlo Agency, at Athlo Agency on Instagram. And then the product is launching like early spring. So like mid-March, right? Kind of right in time for just kind of the spark of the different seasons, right? Kicking off. So but aside from that, like, just keep up with us on social, follow us on social to stay connected. And like, we will have free webinars. We will be pumping out content that it has extreme add value. We believe in giving a lot of this course away for free, truly, because we believe in it. We believe in the product. We believe in the IP. We believe people need to hear what it is that we're saying in this course. So you will get a lot of that dropping like early February. It's our Valentine's Day gift to all the athletes.
Nice. Very nice. Happy Valentine's Day.
You've already got some people here that are ready to subscribe and get in with it because you've sold them already on just the content itself. So we appreciate that. So I guess what is the athlete? What is this going to look like then? It's going to be some free webinars. It's going to be, I guess, the book or the online kind of tutorial. What is it going to encompass for people that are working with you?
So think about it just like a master course, 3 hours. Right? You've got 4 modules. In each module, you've got sub modules. you have takeaways for each module. So literally like a lesson plan, right? But more exciting than that, because Isaac and I are pretty fun. So, so you get to watch an intro video in every module and every sub module, right? And then you'll have resources in there. You'll have your actual worksheets in there, and then again your takeaway for each module. So you really do, you get to walk away with a custom, purpose statement. You walk away with like a business blueprint ultimately that aligns you in the passions that you're able to monetize. You walk away with a lot of clarity around who you should ideally partner with, right? From a brand business perspective. You will walk away with a customized brand filter for all decision making around any brand decision, and a digital resume format. So there's a lot of really, really juicy takeaways in the product. The agency specifically, again, is not going to offer one-on-one like the way that we do, as a creative agency, potentially down the line. But the way that it's originally going to, or what we're originally going to kick off is that pilot product, that 3-hour course. It will exist within a product suite. So when you purchase it, you you'll get your unique login, your password. You can take the course as you desire. Like you can sit and take one module at a time, right? Or one sub module at a time. And then, ultimately we just want it to be accessible. So the price point is really low. Isaac said that it was really important for it to be about the same price as a nice, pair of shoes. So I was like,
pair of sneakers. Yeah. That way you could get away with one drop for a second and, go on with,
because we know an athlete is going to, a college athlete is going to buy that, or their parent is going to purchase it for them. Right. And we just want to make it accessible. However, we are also advocates of athletic departments and agencies. Like we are not competitors in this space. Like we are not a marketplace. We are not the end game. We are kind of the starting point, the direction, right? Like the guiding light in this kind of NIL space that feels like, what the heck, like where's my roadmap? Like we're kind of that navigational system to really come alongside athletic departments and limit the liability, right? In all of this. And I love, because Isaac, that's one of Isaac's call outs, and I think it's great. And then obviously to really advocate for agencies in really aligning their athletes that they represent with the best deals that probably are worth more money than just a $700 one-off Instagram story, right?
Sure.
So that is really the goal, but first and foremost, being an advocate of the athlete. So that product specifically, that pilot product, the webinars will be ran through like the free webinars, the 60-minute webinars will be ran through like a marketplace or an agency. And a lot of times you'll see that cross promotion on our Instagram page. We've got a couple of those queued up over the next couple of months. So
nice.
That's some exciting stuff to come. And Isaac was also really adamant on merch. So there's going to be some merch that will drop too soon.
You gotta have merch. You gotta have merch
to go with it. You gotta have a swag bag. You gotta have
the swag bag. You gotta have the hats. You gotta have the hoodies. You gotta have all of it.
Absolutely. That's part of the branding. You got to. The merch is key.
Isaac's like, we gotta have a good hat. When we were creating the logo, that was like top of mind, and our other co-founder was like, I don't care what the logo, and we're like,
right.
No, gotta look good on a sweatshirt.
Gotta look good in a hat. Right. Gotta look good on something. You gotta need to have a replacement.
We'll get you guys sweatshirts. We need to get you guys sweatshirts. So you'll also see merch drop too.
Nice.
And then
thank you.
This product we will tee up and we will make sure you guys are the first to know too, so you can blast it out to your
please. We'd love to share. Yeah.
And we'll get you like a fun promo code to just get people excited. But we will open a wait list here very soon. So in the next like 4 to 5-ish weeks, we will open up a wait list. There will be a limited amount of spots for you to claim at that like price point, right? That promo price, that
the tier 1, tier 2 type thing.
Yeah, like the first time, or founding member, right? Like price. And then and then from there you'll just hopefully see us on other platforms and just really spreading this word and just strengthening our brand voice. And
I know personally I'll be sharing it with a lot of my friends have kids now that are graduating high school or moving on into college or have been there for maybe a year, and it's kind of like this is something that they may need, maybe because the parent doesn't really know necessarily, or maybe the school isn't here's the deal about NILs too, is that it also depends on your market and kind of what school you're going to per se, because not every school is going to get the same amount of eyes on them for the names or the players or the athletes. So being able to, even if you're in a small school, you could possibly still be able to find your purpose and be able to use that to brand yourself in a small market and still be able to get some kind of financial backing. So that's great.
Absolutely. And there's all kinds of cool NIL companies out there as well. Like one of my teammates up in Green Bay, he's got a company called Connect NIL, and their main focus is all on, he's from Utah, he went to BYU, but his focus is on local businesses. And what they do is they'll drop a gig. So whoever's on his network, a business will drop a gig and an athlete can apply, and then the business gets to pick which athlete that they want to use for their gig.
Clever.
And it's all local businesses. So they're expanding their business as well.
That's great.
Trying to get to other states, trying to really tap into the local market. So as this continues to grow and get bigger, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, all the way from, D3 all the way to the D1 Power 5 level. So,
nice.
It's, like I said, it's going into its second year of it, and it's only going to continue to grow, and it's here to stay. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll make sure to put your guys' website and handles in our bio when we post the podcast, so people can find you guys as well. But Isaac, before we let you go, of course, we know you're a Georgia football alum, and just the timing, we know we've been talking back and forth for like a month now, and just so happened today was the day we were going to do our podcast, which somehow coincidentally was 2 days after Georgia football takes down Alabama. And this is your squad. I mean, this is your alma mater. Like, what are you feeling? How is it? It's been so long. Give us your take on the championship game.
Wow. Well, first of all, great performance by the fellas. It was kind of a slow start, but that's kind of what you expect out of an SEC game. Good defense, good coaching, physical. I mean, guys were flying around, and it was noticeable on both sides. But I just love the way they played. They played hard for 4 quarters. Yeah, there was a couple scenarios where, you took a step back and, you wanted to lose hope for a little bit as a fan. It's different sitting on the fan side of things now versus playing. But I see football in a completely different view than a lot of other people, because I see it situationally. I see it as, I see halftime swings and momentum swings and different situations. But I thought they handled it great. They closed the game out in a great fashion with Keely Ringo getting a big pick to end the game. And unfortunately, when I was at Georgia, we made it to a national championship, which was a crazy ride in itself. But we lost on a 2nd 26 overtime kind of miracle blown coverage. I don't know. It was frustrating.
Brutal. It was a brutal game to watch.
This win, was huge because the guys deserve it. I played with a lot of those guys that actually got a championship. They're former teammates of mine, as well as a lot of new guys that, I don't know, obviously. But just being a part of it, and being a part of the teams that almost did it, and being a part of the teams that tried to set the standard and tried to set the culture for how Georgia football needs to look and how to keep Georgia football in prominence. That win was for a lot of people, and that win was for a lot of hard work that was put in, and Georgia fan base is going nuts. The scene in Athens the other night was absurd. I can only imagine.
I don't think anyone slept in Athens yet, probably.
Yeah. And this Saturday we got the parade, which I'll be in attendance for. I wouldn't miss that for the world.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, just being a former Georgia player, the feeling is pretty mutual for everybody. This was huge for the state of Georgia. There's kind of generally a known curse in Georgia, which Atlanta United, the soccer team, actually broke for us to be able to get a championship. So we got the Braves this year. We got the Dogs this year. So things are looking up in Georgia sports. But yeah, super awesome to be a part of. Super proud of the guys. And that's something that, will live on forever. So I'm proud of them.
That's amazing. Have a blast at the parade. I mean, I can only imagine how amazing. And not to mention, let's just all say the elephant in the room here. You got to beat Bama. Okay, who doesn't want to beat Bama?
Well, listen, we've been hearing it for too long. This is our place now. We got the crown.
I love it. I love it. You guys, we've kept you on long enough. We've had such a great discussion. I mean, so many people have chimed in here, but I know the last person here had just mentioned, thank you guys so much for the great discussion on NILs. You opened up our eyes, you opened up our listeners' eyes. And I'm sure as the show gets put on other avenues, we'll get more feedback as to how it's going. But we appreciate you both. I'll definitely put up your guys' Instagrams and Twitters, but if you want to just say those now for the audio podcast, that way people can get those and they can follow you to follow along with your journey.
Yeah, so it's at Athlo, so AthloAgncy. I'm like the worst seller on planet Earth.
Okay. So it's like Athlo Agency, but all together.
Athlo Agency all together, but obviously agency is a little bit different. Drop the E, right? So but yeah, so those are the handles for both Twitter and Instagram. All of our platforms are pretty much that across the board. And then our website is just that, www.athloagency.com. So, awesome. And it's a coming soon website. So just drop your name. It's super simple, easy. Drop your name in the subscriber forum in there and reach out with any questions to any of us for sure.
My personal Instagram is just at Isaac Nauta, ISAACNAUTA. Feel free to hit my DMs with any questions as well. I mean, I try to get back to as many people as possible on that. DMs are pretty flooded with all kinds of crazy stuff, especially coming off this Georgia.
I bet.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this endeavor because I had a lot of DMs today about like, you didn't tell me how cute your brother was, and I'm like, I'm Isaac's platform, or are we on Aly's platform? Screenshots. It was a little difficult to keep up with. I'm like, man, people must really like me because my DMs are popping off. I'm scrolling through them. Everyone's like, wow, your brother's beard is so great. Like, wow. Like, oh no, here we go. So he's
and it stars.
Yeah. Well, he's a tight end with a beard.
Also, for our listeners saying that they're.
It goes.
I don't know if you guys are there in Georgia. It sounds like there could be snow for the parade on Saturday.
Potentially. It's supposed to be 60 degrees tomorrow, so I'm going to go play a little golf.
Nice. Well, you guys, we really appreciate you coming on. It's been, like I said, it's been a learning experience for me and Mo. We definitely will be in touch. We can't wait to see more from you and possibly learn some more stuff ourselves. So take care. Go Georgia Bulldogs, even though I'm a Husky. But we have a similar tie. Jacob Eason, I know, was your quarterback back then.
That was my roommate.
He's the Washington. And he went back to UW and was with my Huskies and also came back to my Seahawks. So, you know, there's a little tie there too. But anyways, we wish you guys all the best. Have an amazing time at the parade. And thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. All
right. Thank you. Man, good stuff.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Well, we went, a little over, but that's
so we need to make this quick because your team is losing right now, and I have money riding on your team, and I feel like you need to watch your team. I feel like you need to watch your team to get this momentum going. What the heck is going on?
What's the score?
It's on a commercial break because I have the TV running with it, but let me check.
Thanks to everybody that was listening and chiming in. Sorry, we didn't want to break up the organic flow of stuff with
No, it was great. Comments, it was a great conversation. I mean,
it was amazing.
They had a lot of knowledge. I mean, the Nets are up by 6, but you guys can get that second.
And there's no Harden, and it's still the
there is
half,
Harden.
Right?
Everybody's here. Kyrie is here.
I thought Harden was. They said that Harden wasn't playing.
Well, Harden playing, honey. He wasn't gonna miss this. You got the number 1 seed of you guys against the number 2. You know how that goes. They always do that to mess you up.
You had to break out some other Bulls gear I haven't worn yet.
I saw. It's cute. I like it.
Thanks. So again, thank you to Aly and Isaac for joining us. I can't wait to, we'll definitely be posting them. So when we post the show later on, we'll have their links and
what a dope sibling kind of combo with them, though.
Yeah,
right. Sibling
I kind of felt her. I kind of felt her when she was talking about how people were hitting her DMs about her brother. Because whenever I post my brother, they're always like, "Wait, your brother's fine," and I'm like,
"I'm sure." He's got that beard game, and he's a tight end position. Like he plays the tight ends. The tight
So
ends
he's tall too, you know.
and he's
of
tall.
course.
And they always look handsome
Yeah.
guys. So I get it. I totally
They
get
got
it.
they got a great idea, a great business. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's gonna work
awesome.
wonders.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, let's get into some hot topics because
Make it quick because I'm trying to see this game, honey, and we all
I'm
know the
making
hot
it
topics that's
quick.
going on. Yeah, we
Well,
gotta go. We got an
of course-
hour, 10 minutes. Let's go. Chop it up.
10 minutes. Okay,
10 minutes. That's all we got.
We got to
an hour.
spin. So of course we know Kodak Black had a little fun at the Florida Panthers game yesterday.
A
Did you
little
see that?
fun. I don't
A
know
little
what that
fun.
was. I didn't want to even watch.
He was
that.
getting like a little twerk lap dance.
It looked like he was getting a twerk lesson, or he's actually in the lesson. I don't know, but that was crazy as heck. And the fact that somebody panned it, they had one job to do and did not hit zoom on their camera, or they couldn't zoom close enough for us to make it.
How are you? How are you?
Because I couldn't even zoom in on the thing. I couldn't even zoom in on the Twitter to see exactly what was going on. So I'm going to take it as he had a dancer in his booth during the game. She was twerking on him. That's all.
Well, apparently the girlfriend he thought he had, or she thought he had, is no longer now too.
Oh yeah, because she saw it. Yeah.
Another thing, of course, previous guest Dylan Gonzalez, she had mentioned a tweet earlier before New Year's in regards to her being sexually assaulted and raped by Trey Songz. She's had an attorney. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her and to all women that have dealt with any kind of abuse, and especially this. And like you've told me 1,000 times, Kiki had mentioned it how long ago?
Kiki Palmer mentioned this many moons ago.
Yeah.
And, we don't take a look at the signs, but the signs are there. There's other stories with this guy. He's not making any music, but all the stories relevant to Trey Songz have been these allegations and then some and more stories.
And it's not just a couple. It's like a handful.
No, it's quite a few. And you got to listen to these stories so many times to know that it has to be true. There's got to be some truth to this. And I can only imagine the trauma that she's going to, because the thing with women is they're like, well, why don't you report it immediately? Well, people try to suppress what happened. They're trying to rationalize what happened. But when you see a person in mainstream media or anything, or any act or any song or any voice of vocal or hearing anything of them, it triggers something in them. It triggers them to the point where their trauma is now exposed and they have to do something about it. And that's exactly what she's trying to do. The funny thing about the whole thing, and it's not funny, I'm just saying the coincidental thing is, we put this message out and you want your privacy respected, and we have to abide by that. Some people were commenting like, well, you put it out there, so there's no more privacy. You got to come full blown with this. Well, she has to do it in her own time. She's open
and she's just giving the heads up, like, here,
heads up, but this is what it is, and of course his camp has denied any of these allegations, and they're probably looking into some sort of, probably it'll be a settlement of some sort. I don't know, but I just hope that it gets some kind of awareness. I hope she's able to be comfortable enough to tell her story to maybe us or someone else in the meeting when she's ready, but we're here for her. So yeah.
And that girl's, both her and her sister are both driven women. I'm sure that they were, she was trying to continue on with her life to be successful and do all these things. She's like,
how can you when you always have those inner demons, and when they come out, they come out. And it's just a reminder. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hope she does well.
Now it's 51 to 45. Good Lord.
Okay, it's 6 points. You don't think? Did we not know DeMar DeRozan can shoot jumpers and win games two nights in a row?
Are you guys a second half team or a first half team?
It's like a second. I think it's steady throughout, but obviously second half is good too. They've been down by like 13, 14 points before,
and then come back. And what's been going on is a lot of the fouls have been called on them for Brooklyn. They've been going to the line a lot, and I don't understand it.
I don't know.
It's not fair.
So we've got wild card weekend. I know Kinte's in the chat. He want to talk about, of course, the Raiders making it.
Yes.
They are Mo's Raiders, not my Raiders, but we were definitely cheering for them. So they play Saturday, 1:30 p.m. our time here in Las Vegas.
The first game out the gate.
First game out the gate in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Mo actually was at the game. So I wanted to show, this is one of the pictures you had gave me. This was beautiful. Kind of talk about that.
Yeah, that was just a tribute to John Madden. Madden's family was actually there to light the owl torch, the ceremonial torch before game time. And it was requested that everyone in the stands, which was it was probably 95% Raider fans. We were pretty much blacked out. Everybody showed up and showed out. Not that there's many Charger fans out there anyway to begin with, since the move, but we were there and we represented it. And we took our light phones out and raised them high, while there were stories being told of Madden. And coincidentally, this is the same night that the Raiders won their first Super Bowl under Coach Madden.
Wow.
Coincidentally. So it
And
gave
then
me
they had the
chills
sign
seeing that.
there.
And then they had the whole wall placard that we could sign. So I signed, my
Oh.
brother signed. Shout out to Miles from Black in Sports, who works for the Raiders. He was actually outside. We got to see him.
Oh,
He handed me my
dope.
pen so I could sign it
Nice.
right on the wall. So
Nice.
that was nice of him.
Nice.
Thank you, Miles.
I
But
love
yeah, it
it.
was just one of those experiences there. You had to be there. And as a Raider fan, I kind of felt like, oh, I shouldn't go. I feel like I'm cursed. I'm 0-3.
But now
But
you know it's not you.
I know it's not me. And what I did was I strategized. I put on my Oakland Raiders stuff. My dad put on his Oakland Raiders stuff because Oakland Raiders was the last time we went to the playoffs. So
Okay.
I said, we're going to wear our Oakland stuff tonight. And we got to see a lot of memorabilia of people wearing the Oakland Raider player jerseys. We saw the Seabass jersey. We saw,
Nice.
you know, older Amari Cooper jersey. Like we saw all of that just to remember who we were at that time.
And I
where we
think
were in
you guys
2016.
needed that. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was
we
needed.
needed that. We needed that.
And
energy. I said,
Vegas
if I'm
showed
gonna do it,
out.
I'm doing it.
Vegas showed out there too.
They did, but
it wasn't one of those. It didn't seem as filled up with other team fans. It seemed like there was a lot.
Well,
of
first of all, there are not a lot of Charger fans to begin with. Let's be clear. Secondly, if Raider fans were going to show up anyway. Well, I mean, she's one of two that I know. So therefore, that's what it is. Sadly, but the fact that we showed up and showed out was great. I think we were a little too quiet, and I think it's because we were just on pins and needles. You know, we're always quiet on offense, but we needed to be louder on defense. And when defense was breaking down, we got broken down too, and we weren't loud enough for those guys to step it up. But it was one of those games where, typical Charger fashion, they dropped the ball. Why would you call a timeout at the end? That's
that was so
that's
weird.
what cost y'all,
so
honestly. You know what I mean? So
did you see the picture that Max Crosby had posted of his neighbor that had a Steelers blow-up doll that said "Thank you, number 98"? It was like his neighbor, I guess is probably a Steelers fan, was just like, "Thank you for letting us now get into the playoffs." Because of course, we all know if it was a tie,
they wouldn't have gotten
out.
in. They would not have gotten
and
in.
And it was so close to being a tie too. Like,
but we weren't giving no free tickets. We didn't want that. None of us in the stands were wanting that. Someone has to win or go home.
Oh,
and it was just
but the
them.
Steelers fans were. They kept zooming in on 2 Steelers fans that were in the audience there that were like.
And I was so mad at the Steelers at that point, and mad at the Ravens because they had one job to do. You know, if you had beat the Steelers, we wouldn't be in this situation. We would have already been in the playoffs, and we could ride easy street with this game. But here we were. So it was very emotional. Right. It was very tense. That overtime killed us, but we made it through. And when he did, I immediately hugged my dad. We were jumping up and down. They popped streamers and all kinds of stuff. It was a great celebratory thing. And I was just happy to be there. Thank you, Dad, once again for convincing me to go.
Shout out to Mr. Threets.
Shout out to him for allowing me to be his.
And shout out to Mo Hawkins of the DC Tweet team. We're going to chime in with them probably tomorrow. We appreciate you for joining in on us.
And Josh Jacobs he actually had the career yardage of the whole season in that game. That was the most yards he's run that whole season. So shout out to him. Yeah. So we're going to see what we do with these Bengals on Saturday.
We got one of these fans in here.
Yeah. Good luck to you guys.
Let's go Cowboys.
The
Cowboys got the Niners. They definitely got their competition first time.
But they don't win. But the Cowboys have a hard time at home. You guys struggle at home.
Oh, for sure.
So they're coming to you.
I just want both of them to lose. Like, can we just maybe Jerry's World collapse and then there be no game that gets canceled? No one gets injured, but the whole game gets canceled. And
had they been in San Francisco, I would have believed in the Cowboys a little bit more. But now y'all at home, it's dicey because y'all don't do too well at home. I don't know what it is. You know, Kyler Murray owns you guys over in Dallas. It just ain't no question. So you're lucky you're not playing him.
I don't know. It's too much.
Yeah.
But my Seahawks, although not making the playoffs, did win. They did beat Arizona on the road.
And they did. They beat them.
I'm happy about that. Although here's the deal. We have a bad problem about getting injured in Arizona. We had a Ricardo Lockett who got injured and was no longer able to play from an injury in Arizona. Or no, that was Dallas. Sorry. There was somebody else got injured in Arizona. We also had Quandre Diggs, who got injured. He had a broken fibula, dislocated ankle. It was bad. Like, you could see the thing just went backwards.
Wow.
Anyways, he had to stay there, have surgery. His bro, Tyler Lockett, stayed in Arizona with him, didn't go back with the team. So unfortunately, the 2 Seahawks that made the Pro Bowl aren't going to be playing in the Pro Bowl. Both
that stinks.
I know. So Quandre Diggs as well as Bobby Wagner.
So I also
the 2 guys
heard
I would go see
aren't even playing. So I heard Pete Carroll said he's staying. He ain't going nowhere.
Pete Carroll says he's staying.
They
say he may have to have some other like person with that he discusses decisions with or something. I don't know. So far they say that he's staying, they say that Russell's staying. So who knows?
All
I don't
right.
know.
Good luck with all of that.
Shout
I
out
hope
to
the
my
season
fellow
looks better for
12s,
you.
Justin, thank you, as well as
Yeah.
Ken Days, my fellow 12 as well. I appreciate
I'm
it.
very curious of how your off season is gonna go.
It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
It
And
is.
shout out to the Jets who get the 10th pick in the NFL draft because of our second Jamal Adams pick.
Yeah.
That we don't get. We don't get that 10th pick this year. We could have a 10th first round pick, but we don't get it. So, anyways, the Colts got knocked out by the Jags. They could have made the playoffs and they lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Isn't that something?
Did you not want to make it?
And the Jaguars get the number 1 draft pick too at the end of the season too.
They get then after all that, you get the first draft pick.
Yeah, they get the number 1 draft pick too.
Listen, mark my words, Jacksonville's going to be a place they're going to be good. I mean, they're going to get it together.
Yeah.
Great quarterback. They've got some young talent there. And then with all the draft picks, jeez.
Yeah, maybe better. I'm looking forward to
Arlington, first round draft picks aren't always the best, but I know
aren't.
Seattle can turn 1 first round draft pick into 7 or 8 draft picks in total. They be drafting down so often for more picks that it's almost insane. But
that's because you guys have Russell Wilson. That's the bargaining chip. Who wants to play with Russell Wilson?
Right. We shall see.
Yeah.
There's been a ton of firings in the NFL.
Awful.
Of course, it's ridiculous.
Awful.
The Giants, the Bears,
Minnesota,
Vikings, Broncos, Lions. And of course, the Dolphins, Brian Flores, who I don't think had a terrible season. Granted, Miami didn't make the playoffs, but look at Miami.
Okay, they won 7 in a row. Chris Greer is the problem. I'm sorry. Every coach that got fired from a team, their GM went along with them hand by hand. Why is Chris Greer still there? Chris Greer has gone through 6 coaches and has picked terrible options in the draft. And from what I understand, it was rumored that was the nail in the coffin for Brian Flores. They were at it each other regarding recruitment, draft picks, the type of level of players he gets, that whole thing. They were butting heads big time. So that was the part of the departure. But Chris Greer should be right there with him.
Yeah, he should. He is trash.
It is trash. They should. Chris Greer should have been right there with him. Chris Greer, how are you a GM that's gone through 6 coaches already? 6.
That's almost worse than Cleveland.
You've gone through 6 doggone coaches. You don't see the problem is you. You are the problem. And I don't know what Mr. Ross is thinking Miami, over there, but why is he still in this position? I don't understand. But that's okay. Let the Raiders or somebody get Brian Flores. We'll take him.
Yeah.
You know,
shout out to Jerome Bettis, who's taking a page out of JR's handbook and going back to school to finish it up. Yeah. Back to Notre Dame to finish his last semester.
That's what's up, Bus.
Yeah. They had a picture of him. It was, I think, like temperature was 0 and it had him in like one of those big puffy coats and all you could see was his eyes and like, it's freezing here, but I'm going to do it. So congratulations to him getting back to school. Of course, we have to tap into our new segment, of course, the Los Jugadores Locos, because what would it be without a week without someone acting up and doing something? And of course, it has to be with my Seattle Seahawks. So right after the win in Arizona, team flies home. And apparently, Geno Smith decides he wants to get out and and have a few. He got pulled over for a DUI early Monday morning, driving 96 in a 60-mile-per-hour zone.
What? Apparently, and this didn't happen in Vegas? Like Vegas is so susceptible to DUIs?
Seattle.
What?
Happened in Seattle.
It's not Vegas. Where Vegas, they're all gonna
exactly.
See, it happens everywhere, people.
They don't understand. So apparently he got so agitated though too that he told the officer that he had a little dick syndrome and was telling the officers to go F everyone, he'll F them all up before he could get his blood draw. So he had to get restrained at the hospital just to get his blood draw.
Oh boy.
I mean, you couldn't just given it to him like that. Okay.
Nice.
All right. That
Kyrie Irving.
Oh, what do you do?
Drop a 3, 60 to 55. I need you to get on deck with your team.
Okay, second half is gonna be good.
Yeah.
We also want to talk about AB. AB showed up and is showing out with his new clique.
Yeah, he's got Whack 100 there and Kanye and even Wyclef Jean in the game.
And got Game.
Name that group.
Right. Listen, that group ain't
No,
bad.
name it. No, name it. What would you name it?
Uh, bad attitudes. I don't even know. Does he
Your
have a
uncle's
cast
wildest
on
dreams.
too? Is there a cat? Oh no, that's just his pants.
Your
I don't
uncles?
know.
Go get your uncles.
I don't know. Smoked out uncles?
I don't know. Uncle something.
Uncle. I bet you Snoop probably got
Fat
a name for
Jodeci,
him.
Marty says.
Fat
Fat Jodeci.
Jodeci.
They don't even have the talent of Jodeci to sing. And
They
Fat
don't.
Jodeci. Whose underwear are they dropping on that one for the ladies? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting little collab there with that group.
It's ridiculous.
Would have never thought.
Hilarious. Never
Back
thought.
100's always with
So stay
Tekashi.
tuned for AB's music career as well as him kicking it with Kanye and the rest of the peeps there.
The Whack 100's usually with Tekashi. So is there going to be a Tekashi, another crazy clown with another crazy clown? Like, I'm very curious about how this.
Maybe they're going to have like a whole mental health. Maybe like the mental health crew. Although Game, I don't feel like is that offbeat, so I'm not sure.
Or Wyclef.
Dudes with tudes.
Dudes with tudes.
Get your uncles. Go get your uncles. Yeah.
Yeah, they uncle
sure.
something. Definitely not Uncle Luke, but they Uncle Flukes. I don't know.
I'm just hurt that Game's in that. I like Game. I don't appreciate him being there in that crowd.
I don't appreciate any of them being in the crowd. It's interesting.
So one thing that I found was hilarious because we're talking about basketball. Of course, Klay Thompson's back. He returned on Sunday.
Yes, he did.
He has 17. New legs. Talk about Klay got new legs. He was dunking left and right like he ain't never been hurt in his life. And I guess after being gone for 2 years, that's just what you do. But
he's still playing on limited minutes, though.
Yeah. But it was crazy to see him just
17.
be leaping up like out of nowhere and slamming it down.
Yeah, dropping 17. That was good.
Yeah. Okay, 62-60 at halftime. I'm with that.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, they came back.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
so we
nice
got halftime to wrap this one up. I like this one. BWA, bipolar with an attitude.
Yes, I like that one. Book it.
That's it, Mo.
Bipolars, make it plural. There's a few of them on there with that. Bipolars with attitude.
So Klay Thompson's back. Dame Lillard is gonna get his abdominal
killing
injury.
me on basketball
surgery.
Too.
Oh, I can
killing
imagine.
me with it.
So he'll be
He's out 4 to 6 weeks with that, and I have no IL
6
spot.
to 8.
6 to 8. Thank you, Mo from Phoenix, for not putting IL spots, and now I gotta rotate point guards, and there's no point guards out there because we're on a 15-man roster with this league, and there's nobody else out there that I can grab. Like, thank you. I've got to sit on Dame Lillard because if I drop him, somebody else is going to scoop him up within the 6 to 8 weeks, you know? Still got a lot of basketball out there. I don't want to lose him. That just stinks.
And John Morant is insane. Like, this man has hit more of his body. He's hit more pieces of his body on the backboard than I've seen any other person. I've seen his head hit it, his shoulder, his arm. He almost hit his forehead on the rim the other day when he was dunking. He got up so high. LeBron said he had like turbo jets or something in his calf.
He's 22 years old and can't afford to play 37 minutes. He's 22.
But I mean,
and I need LeBron to cut it out.
Airing it like this.
Because LeBron is jaw-jabbing and talking mess to him all the time on the court. Never got any tech calls on it. He was being a bully on the court to John Morant, and that was not nice. And you're jealous old man because his 22-year-old is outrunning you. And that's why we lost.
Young Tito is doing it.
All the Titos are doing it. They're young. 22 and 37 minutes running up and down. John Morant is that kid. And it's with the 10 games in a row wins. It's crazy. Like, nice, I don't, that's going to be a good game. Warriors Bulls Friday. Yeah. That's a game of week 2.
On ESPN. I love a good ESPN game because, I don't got the NBA package.
Right.
So.
That's a good one. That's going to be a really good one. But yeah, John's NBA... that kid. He was flying like that last season.
Yeah. One other thing that I thought was hilarious in NBA news. So Devin Booker the Suns are playing in Toronto versus the Raptors. Mind you, Toronto has no fans because of COVID right now. So there's nobody in the arena. But Devin Booker doesn't like the mascot. The Raptors mascot is distracting him from his free throws and basically gets him sent to the corner. So now that after this has happened, here's a picture of what happened. That's where the Raptors had to go during the free throws. Now that it's happened, both Devin and the Raptor have changed their profile pictures on Twitter just to continue on with this rivalry they have, which is, I thought it's very LeBron-ish. I felt that he could sit there and say, can you move the mascot? He's distracting me. It's a basketball game just because now he's the only person you see because there's no fans, there's no noise. Like, come on, Devin. I thought you were better than that.
They made up. They're fine.
Yeah, I guess. The Vegas Gold Knights, of course, I went and saw the games. We put up some highlights on our Girl Chat Sports page. You can watch the video there. Fleury's return. It was very emotional. I don't think there was many dry eyes in the whole place, including mine. It was really, really sweet, and it was good to see them there. And they won. We took an L, and they left. So, also the Las Vegas Lights, our soccer team, their schedule came out for 2022. First game is March 13th versus New Mexico, and then they play all the way through until October.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. On to some sneakers real quick. Of course, you know, the Crimsons, they come out on the 15th. Mo sent me, is it acronym and Nike, the Blazer Lows. These are amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait for those. They haven't done a release date on those, but those are shoes expected to come out this year.
Those are just beautiful. I don't know. Those are great. Okay, and
They
then
give me
you've got
vibes, but I like them.
Yeah. The Jeremy Scott and Adidas. Yeah. Yeah.
He's actually brought his wings back. That's usually what it does with the Adidas. At least these wings don't fly out and they're not gold and metallic where they kind of flop over the shoe.
Yeah, they work.
It's a clean
with the
look.
shoe.
I'll take it. It's looking a little elevated.
I think it'd been kind of cool to have black Adidas stripes on this too, but that's, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a cool look. I think you could customize it any way you wanted to. You could probably have somebody tag them up. That'd probably be a dope fly looking shoe. I might have to look into that.
Okay. The Adidas 1050 Yeezys.
They look cozy. They do look comfortable. They're very sleek.
I don't know.
They almost remind me of a 10 combined with some other.
It's like if you're going to go jump in pedals and you wanted to make sure the sneaker underneath it didn't get messed up, you would slide this over your sneaker to make sure that it was safe.
It looks like a orange sherbet to me. Or a creamsicle.
Oh my God. Okay, like so creamsicle. The AJ3 Fire Reds, they're bringing these back.
Yeah, I like them.
So they're bringing them back in fall of 2022. I'm not a big 3 person. I mean, I like 3s, but I'm not a huge 3 person. But of course,
I like those though.
Of course,
they look
Michael
different
Jordan's
than most of the other 3s
on them too.
Yeah, I like them
because they're old school. Yeah, they're old school. And then Nike, the Air Max Penny. Listen, the pennies used to rock. Let me tell you, the pennies were the jam, and the fact they're making Air Maxes and the pennies and the Air Maxes, I just back in the basketball days in high school, like the pennies, the Barclays, those things.
I never thought the pennies were hot.
Oh,
I thought Penny Hardaway was cute, but I never thought the shoes were hot.
The pennies were nice. Those are
nice. Actually, those aren't bad. I would actually rock those because I like the back sole to them. If they don't have a picture of the back sole of them, but if you see the back,
and they look better. They look better here than they did back in the early.
Oh, it's totally modernized and elevated. I totally agree with you on that. I think they look really good.
And then of course you got the Drake. What is it? Nauta, Nauta.
Yeah,
the Nike Hot Step Air Terra.
Air Terras.
So these are.
Now he had these on before, like in a different variation. He stepped out of a limo one time with them, and they're a big, bulky, dad-looking shoe. People were clowning it, but it's Drake, so people will buy them.
They released on January 27th. So if anybody,
I do like the white though. I mean, if you want an all-white sneaker,
maybe Coach Carroll wants to upgrade his shoe into this.
Yeah. Maybe Coach Carroll already has some orthopedics like that. He walks like he has them at times.
Also coming to a Nordstrom's near you, Tom Brady is releasing and relaunching the Brady brand.
Yeah,
don't
the Brady
tell Natalie.
Brand.
She's gonna buy everything.
Yeah, I sent her the link, so hopefully she'll get her a hoodie that reads Brady on it.
Of course she will. That's hilarious.
The Brady Brand.
When does this come out?
I don't know. It's not going to be all Nordstrom. Nordstrom is just on the buy for it, so it's probably select stores. I'm assuming it'll be the New York store, some of our major flagship retailers. But
can you order online or is it? Just
absolutely. If it's released, yeah, possibly. Yeah. But he has a website too, so you can shop on that. And he's already got some collections already. He's doing his tier collections, kind of like how a lot of the designers are doing now. So he has one season collection, another collection, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Oh. Mo left, and that's just how it is. I'm surprised she lasted this long. It's been like an hour and 14 minutes. So hopefully she'll click back on. I did want to share with everybody, there is a new show coming out on Peacock, streaming January 23rd. It's called Earning It. It shows the NFL's forward progress with having women and inclusion in the league, of course, in regards to coaching, refereeing, sports management, all those things. That starts streaming on January 23rd on the Peacock network. So make sure you tune into that. And a special girl power goes to Rachel Balkovich. She's 34 and she's now going to be the skipper for her very own team. So excited for Rachel. I mean, 34 and she's now the skipper for the Tampa Tarpons, the Yankees, Florida's team for the Yankees baseball system. Isn't that great? Mo's back. Hey, Mo.
Yay. I'm glad I lasted that long.
Yeah. So she was also the first woman to serve as a full-time minor league strength and conditioning coach for the Houston Astros, as well as be a full-time hitting coach in the minors. This girl, I'm sorry, 34 and has already done all this. Like, I'm amazed and I'm so impressed. So, of course, this comes just shortly after the Yankees had their first female president. I think it was president, wasn't she? Or Marlins? The Marlins or Yankees? I can't remember. But
Marlins.
Girl power all the way. Also, the Las Vegas Aces. Las Vegas Aces hired a new VP of branding, DeAndre Duggins. So she worked in advertising and branding for the Ravens for 6 years.
She's a beast.
I mean, let's just say Mark Davis and these Aces are putting together like
a strong powerhouse of women.
Woo!
Which is necessary. Very necessary.
I love
it. He is
I
not
can't
afraid
wait.
of shattering glass ceilings, and I'm all for it.
Heck no.
And the fact that this lady, I shouldn't even say chick, this lady
this
is
woman.
one of the best execs 40 under 40. Like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? She's a beast.
And that's what we need to get that branding out for these aces. Get these girls out there.
Yeah.
All right. So after last week's pick'ems, we are officially tied 7-7-2. I won last week 4-1. You know, the the Washington football team, Saints, the Steelers, they all came through for me. So we've literally just got pick'ems for about 5 games. Let's see how we can pull this one off, because right now we're in a dead tie. Of course, we got your Raiders at the Bengals, first game off the bat on Saturday.
I'm rolling with my Raiders.
I know you are. Man, I'm just...
Pick who you want. Pick what's realistic.
But I don't know, because the Bengals have been doing poor too. I don't know.
They're in their hometown.
Mixon are they all back from the COVID and stuff?
I think so. I think everybody's they're gonna play regardless. I feel like somebody's gonna be.
No, I'm gonna root for the home team.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You know, I got you. I mean, that's what I'm doing. Okay, Patriots at Buffalo. Can the Patriots upset? You know, Buffalo's had an up and down season all year.
I know they have. They really have.
But New England also lost last week.
But I need New England to lose. Because we're tied with our records with them. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo on that, just to see.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with New England, just see what happens. I think that's one of those toss-up games for me personally.
I mean, Belichick is definitely a postseason coach. Like, he can definitely bring playoff contention to them.
And it doesn't matter how cold it is in Buffalo, because they can handle it.
Through it. Yeah,
I think it's supposed to be like 0 degrees there, I think, this weekend.
I just don't want Buffalo to choke. I just hope it's their time to kind of step up.
We shall see. Philly at Tampa Bay. I don't think there's much of a...
Tampa Bay.
It's sad that Philly got right into it, and that's their first game.
That sucks. Hey, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, it is. Frisco at Dallas. I would just prefer both to die. Just both of them. I'm
going to go with the Niners. Oh, God. The retching. The retching of her voice just said it all, you guys. Like, she literally retched on the mic, and that just tells you indicative of how she feels about both teams.
It really is. I don't want to pick, but I'll pick opposite of you just so that we have something. But I don't.
But hopefully your pick will make them lose. Hopefully your pick will be a good luck to make them lose.
Hopefully
So
they both. Hopefully they tie at 0-0.
I don't want to see them ever again, even in the NFC thing. I don't want to. I want somebody's got to
All
go
right, so
home.
we've got Ben Roethlisberger's final game in Kansas City, Pittsburgh at Kansas City. Did you see his little his media where he was like, "Hey, listen, we all know what we're doing here. I think we're like the 14th team out of all the teams in here. We're not supposed to win, so hey, let's just enjoy it."
Yeah, I don't care at this point. Ravens had one job to do. I didn't want to see them either. But I don't like the Chiefs either. So I'm going to roll with Pittsburgh just because Big Ben, this is finally your last hurrah. You should have been gone like 10 seasons ago. I keep telling folks. And they agree with me too. Steeler fans are like, yeah, you're right.
They're sick of him too. They're sick of him too.
It's time.
All right, so here's the big one. So we finally have a Monday night playoff wild card game, and it's going to be Arizona at LA. It's going to be at SoFi. Of course, this matchup just took place not too long ago again, but we've got the Cardinals who just lost to the Seahawks and the Rams who just lost to the Niners going at it for Monday Night Football. What do you think? I mean, here's the deal. And not to mention, you've got Cooper Kupp who got the trifecta.
He's amazing.
Who is
I'm
like
have to
the
pick
man.
The Rams. I hate
the
to
man.
say it.
I gotta pick the Rams too. I think Kyler has ability to get there. It's like I'm amazed at how quick his release is and how fast he moves. But for some reason, it's just sometimes the defense is there. Chandler Jones is crazy. He was getting at us like nobody's business on Sunday last game, but I think the Rams are going to do it. I think that's just their time. It's their home stadium.
I hope so. We're getting into the second half of this game. Are we almost done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're done.
The second half is starting.
Yes. We're going to get out of here so that I can watch my game and Mo can let me watch.
This is the game of the week. Like the Lakers are
lose.
I don't know what the Lakers are doing over there in Sacramento. They're playing tonight too, but I don't care about that game. I care about this game.
Okay.
This is the game.
Guys, we are out of here. We'll be back
Thanks again
Wednesday.
To Aly Isaac, all of that good stuff. You guys be sure to follow them. We will post everything on the information for them. And you guys have a good rest of your week. Football's not dead. Football is not dead. And we out.
Bye.